Hello everybody, welcome back to Grey Cup Game Plan here on Shaw TV, and guess what? Our guest of honor has arrived. There she is, the beautiful Grey Cup trophy here at the Manitoba Legislature, officially kicking off the 103rd Grey Cup Festival in Winnipeg. Man, does that thing look great or what? It really is going to be a big party over the next few days, and did you know that a 2012 survey found that Canadians consider the Grey Cup to be the most important annual event to attend? So if you're not here in Winnipeg, what are you doing? Get down here. Let's go to our next installment of Where Are They Now with arguably one of the best field goal kickers in CFL history, Dave Cutler, and here's his story now.
I hated you.
Do I know you?
When I was a kid, I was a Rough Rider fan. I didn't want to be, but in Saskatchewan, it's the law. At least, that's what my father told me. The Eskimos used to destroy my riders. Game after game, season after season, the Eskies would come to Regina and break my heart. That guy right there, that's Dave Cutler. Now some of you young people might be going, who's Dave Cutler, man? Dave Cutler is a football legend. He was the place kicker for the Edmonton Eskimos for 16 seasons. Dave was part of that monster dynasty that owned the CFL in the 70s and early 80s. No other team ever dominated the league like the Edmonton Eskimos. Dave won 6 Grey Cups, 5 of them in a row. He still holds the CFL record for the third longest field goal, 59 yards. Western All-Star, All-Canadian, and in 1998 inducted into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. When Dave retired in 1984, he held almost every kicking record, but not just in the CFL, in all of professional football. But I don't live in Regina anymore. I live here in Victoria. And you know who else lives in Victoria now? I needed to let go of my childhood anger and disappointment. So I asked Dave if we could talk it out. I was shocked to learn that he's originally from Saskatchewan, a small town called Bigger.
I am from Saskatchewan. Louis Riel was in my kindergarten class a long time ago, man.
When Dave was 5, his family moved to Victoria so his dad could join the Navy. Dave attended Simon Fraser University, got a teaching degree, and played linebacker. He had never even tried a field goal until one day at the gym, fate kicked his life in a new direction.
I started doing squats, and one day I just got bored. And in the corner of the weight room, there was a ball and a tee. And I kicked a little bit in rugby, and so I took this ball and the tee out onto the field, and one of our coaches came out and said, no, do this. And I swear, the first one I ever really kicked was 50 yards, and it went.
And Dave's career blasted off too. He was considered to be too small to be a professional linebacker, but he signed with the Eskimos in 1969 as their place kicker, a job he would own for the next 16 seasons. An incredible accomplishment that came with incredible pressure.
Pressure is the most selfish emotion you can feel. Your fear, it's your fear of your failure. And so everybody on our team had situations like that in the game, and sometimes it came down to me, but I was thinking just like they were, as they thought like I did. It was not for me, it's for the other guys, so get it done.
After football, Dave taught school in Edmonton and worked in the local media. In 1995, he and his wife and kids moved to Victoria to be closer to family. Today he works in radio, doing sales and marketing for the Q and the Zone.
I love meeting people, and I love solving problems, and I just love putting things together, and this sounds really, really simplistic, but I like to put things together that work. And it doesn't matter whether, I'm fooling around in the garden, or, which happens very little, by the way, or I'm fooling around, just putting marketing plans together. It's something I enjoy. I enjoy puzzles.
As much as he loves Victoria, Dave still misses Edmonton.
A great town now, absolutely phenomenal town. It was a small prairie town with 1 million people.
In Victoria for Shaw TV, I'm Dan Kahn. And this guy right here, kind of like him now.
Go Teamwork, determination, and heart is what these kids bring to the field each and every game as the spotlights turn on and they step out against their opponent. The Medicine Hat Argonauts is one of 4 Pee Wee teams in the Medicine Hat Tackle Football Minor Division, where the kids learn proper blocking and tackling skills, as well as how to be safe on the field. Head coach Roy DeVore has been coaching for 11 years and says joining football at this age can be beneficial on many levels.
It just gives them a whole group of people that they can connect with, and it's as you see as the kids get older with football, it's like a big family kind of thing. So you get to see, for me, I get to see the kids grow up and in the football community. It's really fun for them.
But the game of football isn't just for boys anymore. The team's quarterback, Justina Ranke, started playing football this year and says playing with a bunch of boys doesn't intimidate her, and she's especially proud she made quarterback.
It's pretty fun because, you know, like, you get to show your girl power, and I really like it.
Coach Roy says he noticed Justina from the first time she stepped on the field and knew she had what it took to be the team's QB.
Had our mass practice and we were kind of running all the kids through the drills and whatever, and she went out there, and normally people are hesitant and shy, but she was right in there and wanting to learn and really wanting to do good, so that's kind of what made her stand out.
Justina says while out on the field, she relies heavily on her teammates when making the right calls.
Like, would this play work? Is there any way that it can make it better? Is there anything that I've done to make it better or anything?
This isn't the first time the league has had female players, but Coach Roy says the number of females joining the league is growing. Reporting for Shaw TV in Medicine Hat, I'm Leanne Evans.
Watch your focus on camera 2. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Ready, camera 2, 2 take. He's had some big 4 is on replay right now. Any look on 4 looks good. Just in on him. Let me know if it is.
The Grey Cup has been broken 4 times, including 1 time being sat on and another time being headbutted.
Pleased to be joined now by Jason Smith. He's the president of the 103rd Grey Cup Festival. Jason, we spoke back in June. It's November. It's the week of the Grey Cup. Are you guys ready to put on a show?
We've been working hard for almost a year now, so obviously it's pretty exciting to get to the week of the event. Everybody's excited. Our volunteers are ready to go. So yeah, we're very excited and we're looking forward to this week.
You guys are bringing in so many musical acts and performers for this. What's that brainstorming session like at the beginning? Is it really just a matter of trying to get the biggest acts?
You know, to be honest, when I started planning this, my thought was for all events, Concerteers included, was I wanted to try to find a way to incorporate as many people as possible. So I tried to look at, you'll notice if you the concert series, we have a country night, we have a sort of a rock and roll contemporary night, and then we have more of an oldies legends night. And so the idea was to try to get something all the way around, something that we could, I think, appeal to just about anybody along the way. So that was the process, and I tried to find the bands that would best represent that as we went.
Something really great this year is that Grey Cup sign at the Forks, where fans can tweet their favorite team's colors, and then the sign itself will actually change to those colors. How important is it in this day and age to engage your audience via social media?
Sure, and I have to admit the CFL takes credit. That was their idea, and they're the ones who got the sign. It is a great idea because it's true. I think a lot of people in this day and age really are connected to technology, connected to their smartphones, and obviously we want to be part of that movement. We want to connect with people in ways that they want to be connected with. And so yeah, I think it's indicative of what we were trying to do at the festival: be contemporary, be current. And with the CFL, I know that they are also in that mindset. They're trying to be keep up with the times and make sure people can engage and interact in the way that is commonplace now. So.
This really is a big event for the city. Did you find that there was a certain area where you had more challenges planning for this?
It's hard to say with that. It's always challenging when you plan an event like this. There are so many moving parts and so many people that get involved. I wouldn't say anything was more challenging than anything else. The overall challenge, interestingly enough, is that you're essentially starting a business a year ago, and that business has to go from zero to fully formed and functioning 1 year later, essentially, right? And so that is a challenge because we had to envision all of the events. You have to work with multiple venues, multiple agents, all kinds of people to get it all together. So that is the challenge overall, I think, is sort of the number of moving parts, and combining them all in a very short period of time to culminate in 1 week a year later can be challenging, I'm not going to lie, but it's pretty exhilarating and pretty fun to do at the same time. So
there's obviously so many events this week leading up to the Grey Cup. Can you pinpoint maybe one or two that fans absolutely should check out?
Yeah, I get asked that all the time. It's really hard to do because I've been working for a long time on all these events, so I have a certain soft spot. Sir, I really do believe the concerts are going to be great. We I think have picked some really solid Canadian bands. So one of the concert nights, if I can, I'll go to the one that represents the band, the type of music you like. I would certainly as well too stop in at the University of Winnipeg, the Nissan Titan Street Festival. We have an amazing amount of really cool things going on there. There are activations, kick field goals. There's a virtual reality. Shaw's got a road to the Grey Cup there where you can walk through, and it goes through the Bombers' locker room and then runs out through the tunnel onto the field, and all in virtual reality. So there are some really neat things to do there. And then I think I would also say that on Saturday night, even though unfortunately now it's sold out, but the other event I think is going to be really amazing is Saturday night's gala dinner. First event ever in the new City View Ballroom of the Convention Center, which is pretty exciting. Largest gala dinner ever done in Winnipeg. We have over 250 tickets sold to it, so it's going to be a huge night. And we have Jerry D, CBC's Jerry D, and Randy Bachman performing, so I'm pretty excited about how all that turned out.
Thank you very much, Jason. We're looking forward to the big game.
Anytime, and thanks for having us out, and we'll see you guys out there.
Cool. Thanks, Jason.
My pleasure.
Becoming a professional athlete doesn't come easy to anyone, and BC Lions Marco Iannuzzi is no exception.
I started off in 5th grade and I was smaller than everyone, and I was told I was smaller than everyone and that I wasn't going to be as strong as everyone and I could get hurt, but I knew that as long as I became faster than everyone, then I might have a shot at living.
And he did much more than just survive. He had a minor football career filled with wins, including 3 undefeated high school championships with the St. Francis Browns, and his success continued after graduation with his academics.
I get a call in March from Harvard, and they said, hey, we'd love you to come out, and interviewed admissions. Like, they can't really just slide you in the back door of the football program. They say, we'd like you to interview and give it a shot.
But Marco wouldn't get into Harvard that first year, or the second. He went through the grueling application process 3 times.
I walk in there and they look at me and they're like, listen, if we just let you in, will you stop sending us applications? Because we were racing a lot of trees. So, yeah, I got it on 3 times.
At a young age, Marco found out that his mother has multiple sclerosis, and she told him to never stop being grateful for his health.
And the other thing she told me is that I'll always be living and playing through you. So anytime I was on a football field, a track, a basketball court, I was always playing for my mother. I now sit on the board of directors for the MS Society, so I'm trying to do bigger, better things as far as raising awareness, raising funds, and ending MS.
On top of his philanthropy work, Marco is now married with 3 children, has a professional job, and says life's all about balance and staying focused.
We have a great household. We have a lot of fun. Sounds cold, but my wife and I, we schedule each other's time in our Outlook calendar. So my wife will send me an invite. It'll say we're going to the park from 2 to 4. And I put that in my calendar as if it's a meeting, and I treat it that way. So when I'm with the kids, I'm with the kids. When I'm at football, I'm at football. When I'm in the office, I'm at the office. I'm very binary. So wherever I am, I'm giving my full attention and enjoying what we're doing.
And it's that focus that's allowed Marco to be successful, leading him to the multiple championships, including winning the 99th Grey Cup.
I've been very fortunate to be on a lot of winning squads. So I have 3 championships from high school. Then I went to junior football, won a national championship. Then I went to Harvard and we won back-to-back Ivy League championships. And then my first year in the pros, I win the Grey Cup championship.
Marco says his true passion will always be football. He'll never stop playing.
Oftentimes guys think about when are you going to retire? You've played for 5 years, how much longer can you do this? I think that I get to do this every day as a profession, and I get to be a big part of my community, and I get to win championships that are so much bigger than me. To be a part of the CFL and to be a part of something so enriched in tradition and so big, it's just special, and I'll play this as long as I possibly can for those reasons.
I'm Peter Verge for Shaw TV.
Despite their recent struggles, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers have been to the Grey Cup game 24 times, the most of any team.
Welcome back to Grey Cup Game Plan here on Shaw TV. Boy, this hour is just flying by. So many great football stories for you. A broad swath of content, if you will. Both the Eskimos and Red Blacks have arrived in Winnipeg and are settling in nicely for Sunday's big game. Here's some pictures of them walking off the plane. And there's Henry Burris in a media scrum. Always a great quote. We hope to talk to him at some point in the next few days. It's Ottawa and Edmonton for the 103rd Grey Cup this Sunday. We also sent out a camera at the Eskimos practice this morning at Investors Group Field. It's got to feel good to finally touch down, no pun intended, in the city you're playing in with plenty of time to prepare for the big game. And remember, the next few days are a big party for the city of Winnipeg and for fans all around the country, but it's all business for the players. Speaking of Edmonton, our Shaw TV reporter Tim Dancy is in the Alberta capital with this story about the annual Eskimos dinner.
It was the 51st Edmonton Eskimos football dinner. Close to 1,000 supporters were on hand at $350 a ticket.
Edmontonians own the Edmonton Eskimos, and this is the one time that we get people out to celebrate the pride and tradition of the Edmonton Eskimos and with our friends and family in the communities.
And we take that money and plow it right back. This all doesn't go to the operation of the football club. It goes to the things that we do in the community.
Amateur football, we're involved with Win-House and those kinds of kids in the crowd. We call them gridiron kids. To try and make tickets available for our future fans.
This heavily attended event helps finance Eskimos' community programs and charities, but was originally an organizational savior in 1964.
So they had a large board, and it was pretty dysfunctional, and the team wasn't very good. In fact, the team was in danger of leaving town, folding.
And they sold, I think, 400 or 500 tickets at $100 a piece in 1964. That was the first dinner, and they made $40,000, and that saved that football team in 1964.
Today, television contracts and ticket sales are primary revenue generators for the team. The Eskimos' dinner, feeding 1,000 people, is the major consideration.
Tonight we have a braised short rib, so that was done a few days ago, but it was portioned on Sunday, and then the meat was dished up tonight.
Yes, it's about timing, isn't it, to a large degree?
That's right, timing, making sure it's ready on time, it's not overcooked, it's not undercooked, it's warm and appetizing. In the kitchen we have 40 staff. Banquet staff, I expect there is 2 waiters for every 40 to 45 guests.
And now all those people that actually paid for their tickets, stay standing.
MC Mark Schultz kept it light and the fans had fun, just as organizers like Alan Watt had planned.
And now when people come to our dinner, there's an expectation that you'll see video highlights, that you'll get some laughs out of it, that you'll be entertained, that we give away awards like the West Montgomery Award, that we give away the David Boone Award to one of our players who have contributed greatly in the community.
Selling the tickets is a big part of it, but also the organization to run this thing, the ops. This year we have a bit of a military theme, so we've invited our friends from the Canadian Armed Forces to be with us tonight and celebrate what they do.
We had 855 community appearances last year. That's a lot. I can't think of another team in pro sports that does that many or more.
Yes.
So, and it all has to be funded, and this is a way to do it.
Of course, a good time had by all. This is Tim Dancy.
1984 was in Edmonton, and I didn't go to that one. Couldn't quite afford it. But then I got a steady job, and I had actual holidays. And my dad just said, well, you can't use them up. Why don't you come to Grey Cup? So in 1985, I went to Montreal.
I started in 86. I missed 88 for sure because my daughter was born in October, so that would have not worked well.
The two football fans enjoy the CFL game in general and the Grey Cup in particular.
It was a way for us to hang out together. We've been buddies forever. We were best men at each other's weddings. And it was a way for us to hang out and just go and do something that we both really enjoyed to do.
As I got older, it was more about the teams and meeting some players and meeting people that really talk. You get to talk football, CFL.
Meeting new people and renewing old friendships is all part of the 4 days of Grey Cup partying.
There was a bunch of sisters we met, and they came in their pajamas. And they sat at the table and drank and partied, and every year we'd sort of meet them at various things after that. But we first met them at the breakfast, and they weren't looking so great, just the way they felt, not that they weren't looking great.
There's a huge contingent that comes from Atlantic Canada every year. They don't even have a team. Joe, I can't remember his last name, comes up from Baltimore. They haven't had a team since '95.
Many items were collected from the games and a few pictures which stir some memories, including one which appeared in the Toronto Star.
Just some guy going around, and he was shooting, so we all raised our glass to cheer the moment and get our picture taken. We didn't even know what the heck they were doing. And it turns out, well, my Uncle Gene has just passed away this last week. But my cousin, my brother, we were all there for the 1989 Grey Cup.
For Steve, his prized possession is a flag signed by the 1998 Cup-winning Stampeders. Now, should he have a fire at home? Guess what goes out first?
Is that? I mean, after my wife.
For Go, I'm Jim Claggett.
That one, I don't know if it was the last game or whatever, we got a fantastic pass, and he got a touchdown, and that won our game.
Joan Walsh remembers the days when Milt Stiegel and Charles Roberts electrified Winnipeg Blue Bombers fans.
Oh, yeah.
She was one of them. And for almost 60 years, Joan has been a rabid blue and gold supporter.
I don't know how I got started, but once I got started, I was in. And the Bombers were my number one. Football is number one. But no, that's my boomer.
A season ticket holder since the 1980s, Joan still attends all the games and recalls the team's glory years well.
I never used to sit down like when I was at the game. I'd be sitting there and all of a sudden I'm up jumping around and everything. Then I'd sit down. Then they'd do something else, like that, and I'm up again.
And the 81-year-old is not afraid to show the rest of her Transcona neighborhood her passion.
The fantastic Transcona neighbors said, your house needs a painting. Okay, what color would you like? So, blue and gold. Right from the start, blue and gold.
While we interviewed Joan, little did she know that a surprise was on the way. Shaw was bringing the Grey Cup to her house, and she had no idea.
And we have a special treat for you. Mrs. Walsh, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
My name is Jeff McWhinney. I'm with the Canadian Football Hall of Fame.
Okay.
And on behalf of Jeffrey Orridge, our commissioner, and our executive director, Mr. Mark DeNoble.
Okay.
Thank you for being part of our league.
Oh, you're welcome.
I was honored to present to you the Chalice of Champions. the Grey Cup.
You're going to give that to me?
I'm going to present to you right now so you can have some time with it. What's your favorite Grey Cup moment?
Oh my God.
This is pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
Like it? There we go.
I love hugs. Ah.
You'll see Chris Walby on there.
Oh yeah, Walby. Okay, wow. Yeah, Chris Walby. Yeah.
I would like to present you with the Grey Cup trophy.
Oh, thank you.
To remember this day. This is your Grey Cup moment, dear.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
And now that Jones had her Grey Cup moment, she'll attend the game on November 29th in Winnipeg, and then we'll eagerly await the next time her Bombers hit the field.
I always wait once they're out for the season. I can't wait for the next season to come along. Oh yeah, my Bombers shall never give up.
For Shaw TV, I'm Kevin Hirschfield.
All right, that'll do it for Grey Cup Game Plan here on Shaw TV. I'm your host, Mike Valente. The spotlight certainly is on the city of Winnipeg over the next few days as we're counting down to the 103rd Grey Cup Sunday night at Investors Group Field between the Ottawa Redblacks and the Edmonton Eskimos. If you missed any of today's show, although I highly doubt that, log on to our Shaw TV Winnipeg page. We'll be tweeting out so many football stories and great content. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Goodbye.